Most podcasts happen in studios. This one happens on the job. I'm Cole Trachis, and this is Through the Glass, where we sit down with people not just to talk about what they do, but who they are. Today's guest is Gabe Woodruff. Gabe was born and raised right here in Scottsdale, Arizona, in the same home his grandfather bought when his family moved to the state back in the 1960s. He's been practicing dentistry in Scottsdale for the past 18 years and has also served as president of the Central Arizona Dental Association. Outside of work, Gabe loves exploring Arizona by off-roading to natural wonders, road tripping through old mining towns, and staying in historic hotels along the way. Right now, he's focused on expanding his practice so he can create more freedom in his schedule and spend more time at home with his young family. Welcome to the show, Gabe.
Hey, thanks so much, Cole.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited to be here, dude. This is a beautiful house.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into it. I want to know what it was like growing up here in Phoenix and siblings, family life.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
Well, I grew up here in South Scottsdale, born and raised. I'm an identical twin brother. So we had three boys in my family, a year younger brother and an identical twin. We were very close, and it was great growing up here in Scottsdale. We didn't lock our doors. It was safe. My parents actually met here in Scottsdale at Scottsdale High. They were high school sweethearts, and they would tell us stories of what the community was like back then. And so we have strong roots in Scottsdale. I'm proud to be from Scottsdale, and it was a great community to grow up in.
Yeah. So twin brother, any sisters?
No sisters, all boys. And, go figure. Now I have four girls.
Yeah.
And so
What a
thought we'd have
blessing.
all boys, but this is apparently what I needed in life.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sports, what was high school? Did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Saguaro High School, was involved with a little bit of everything. And I felt like I could do each thing that we did. We just kind of spread ourselves a little bit, probably too thin. And but I was told early on, you can do whatever you want to do by my grandfather. And he says, and my father was a big proponent of getting paid for what you know and not what you do. So we were always doing tons of things. High school involved with everything between track, wrestling. We would do all of the musicals. I built sets. Involved with hiking club, just as much that we could get involved with.
Yeah, you threw yourself into kind of everything.
Yeah.
Which is cool. You learn a bunch of skills.
Yeah.
So after high school, where did you go to college?
Went to U of A.
Okay.
Went down there with my brother and had a great time down there.
Yeah.
And tried to decide what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do during that time.
Sure. Why did you stay local? I know there's ASU, there's GCU, and there's U of A. Why didn't you go out of state?
Well, they gave me a scholarship.
Oh, cool.
And so that was important. Also, a lot of our friends were going down there that were motivated. And so felt like it was just far enough but to get some independence, but close enough that we could still be home with family.
Yeah, that's awesome. What did family mean to you during that time?
Family is everything. We were really close-knit, just great parents. Grandparents all lived here. Cousins all lived here. We grew up around my cousins, and we just enjoyed family time.
That's awesome. Did you guys have like Sunday dinners or like get together, or what was family like? It sounds like you had a great family life.
Yeah, we would spend a lot of time with my grandparents, actually.
Oh, so cool.
We called them Oma and Opa, and they were instrumental in our life.
Okay.
We would, I had three boys in my family, three boys in my uncle's family, so it was six cousins.
Wow. Building
forts, going camping. They'd take us on road trips up the Rocky Mountains, and we would get a pick where we wanted to go on a road trip. And it's probably actually where the love for Arizona and for exploring actually came from. Because we would be, as a 11-year-old, 12-year-old kid, we would take the map out, and my grandfather would say, hey, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Where are we going to stay tonight? And literally, we would direct him with the RV of where we're going and what we were doing at this RV park, or it had a pool. We want to go there, or we want to go to this national park. And so it was great.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are they still around, your
No,
grandparents?
they passed away, and it's interesting how those family traditions change as
Yeah.
the patriarch and matriarch of the family
Sure.
pass away, and so we start making our own traditions.
Yeah.
But they were instrumental in my life and my brother's life, and
Absolutely. A lot of good memories for sure.
a lot of good memories.
So what would you say you're carrying on into your current family from some of those memories?
Well, I think I see a lot of my grandfather in me.
Okay.
I do. He was a German guy and sometimes a little gruff. And so like I have to temper, sometimes that desire to have things efficient and be, the impatience and all of those things. So there's maybe some genetic predispositions that I have to like tone back. But his desire always was to get people together and love on them. And just he hosted all the time. And I see that in me. Like I'm always up, what do you need, or getting people together and just organizing people so that they can get together. So I love seeing people get together, enjoy what I've put together, and enjoy each other.
Yeah.
And love on each other.
Yeah. I mean, you have the perfect house for hosting too.
We host a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about college and how you decided to get into where you are now.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got an architectural home here, and I was going into college thinking I was going to be an architect.
Oh, cool.
I've always enjoyed art. My grandmother encouraged me to paint, and so she gave me like sets for Bob Ross. And literally, as a kid, like 8-year-old kid, I'd watch Bob Ross.
Heck yeah.
And I would oil paint and do all these different things. But also, I would move my furniture around and in my bedroom and make my bedroom the way I wanted it and paint it and do different things. And so I was always really influenced by my surrounding, by artwork. And so I went into college thinking, hey, well, I'll become an architect. And then I realized pretty quickly as I would design sets or do different things for the church that we were involved with, like paint nursery walls, different things, I didn't really enjoy being by myself for long periods of time doing these projects. I would get a little melancholy by myself like all the time. And so I realized pretty quickly I wanted to do something that involved more interaction with people on a daily basis.
Sure.
And so my mother's actually a dental assistant. I grew up around dentistry. And so I was actually, for extra money for our family, we would clean dental offices.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So I would be in high school, and at night I would help my mom clean dental offices. In college, I would come home for breaks, and I would help my mom clean dental offices for extra money for our family. And so it was during a time when I was cleaning a dental office, and I thought, Mom, why haven't you ever thought about dentistry for me? And she says, well, I never wanted to push you into it.
Right.
But I started thinking, I was like, I'm artistic. This is very artistic, very detailed.
Very.
You get to own your own business. The idea of having freedom over my own schedule, over what I produce, that was encouraging. It seemed like they did pretty well.
Yeah.
So business, the idea of having my own business was appealing. So all the things started to kind of align, and realize like, hey, this might be a good profession for me. I love people. I can do science well. I'm artistic. I get to own my own business. Good family life.
So then you went back to college and kind of switched gears?
So I started to shift gears away from architecture. There's a beautiful house up here on the mountain designed by Michael P. Johnson. He's an architect.
Okay.
And so while I was in my first year of college, I toured this house with him as he was finishing it. It's an incredible cantilevered, beautiful glass and steel house. And I was talking to him.
Still there?
It's still here. It's right above. It's actually above the house we own right now.
Wow.
So it's like this full circle.
All right. We'll show a picture.
Yeah. It's this full circle where I tour this house and I start talking to him about the role of architecture. And I just started thinking, I don't know if I'm really interested in furthering the role of architecture in American society. And maybe I should spend more time with people and actually work with people daily. And, architecture could be a hobby of mine.
Sure.
And so now I get to support my family. I get to do what I love in dentistry. And then also I get to enjoy living in a house that's architecturally significant. But it was interesting how the idea of what he was talking about and really steered me away from architecture, talking to this amazing architect. So I went back to school, to college, and shifted gears to pre-med, and got a nutritional biochemistry degree, and then went on to do dentistry.
That's awesome. And all at U of A, or did you have to go somewhere else?
Yeah, so I went to U of A, graduated. Because I shifted gears, it took me 4.5 years instead of 4 years.
Sure.
And then went to Oregon Health and Science University, went to Portland, Oregon for 4 years. They gave me a scholarship to go up there. And also that was in the mountains. I love that. I love the West. I love just the Rocky Mountains. And then decided, hey, I want to further my education. And so after dental school, did well in dental school, and then said I need some more training for cosmetic work because I'm going to be going back to Scottsdale, Arizona, where people take care of themselves. Yes. And so I went and did a residency at University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, for 1 year.
Out of those colleges, which ones did you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed them for different reasons.
For sure.
University of Arizona was a great foundation, great people, great friends. Then as I went to OHSU, we were all in it together. It was difficult, and it's kind of like when I go to school, it's like if this wasn't difficult, it probably wouldn't be worth doing. And I loved that Pacific Northwest feel. When it was sunny, it was the most beautiful place in the world, but it wasn't sunny all the time. Yeah. And I didn't realize Portland was weird. When I was there, it was just, I was in the books and really enjoyed my time there. Great people. And then University of Michigan was fun because I hadn't been on an undergraduate campus for 4 years. And then when I got back on the undergraduate campus, got involved with the local campus ministry there and really enjoyed that. And then I was the on-call dentist for all the sports teams there. So I got to go to a lot of the sporting events, loved the hockey there, all their sports card. I never got called down to the ice. But it was a great place to bring a date because it was cold and they'd cuddle up.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I hear you talk about ministry and church, and you want to go a little bit on touch on that for me?
Yeah. I feel like I'm called to minister. Sure. And so dentistry is my profession. And when I decided to do it, I remember telling my parents, this is not all that I want to be. This isn't going to be all my identity. Yeah. And it's hard to not have that be your only identity because it does take up so much of your time, and people view you, it's Dr. Woodruff, and you have a presence in the community for that. Yeah. But I can tell you that I get as much or more fulfillment whenever I talk to someone about things that are eternal. Sure. Whenever I have a moment to connect with someone and meet a need spiritually, I get as much or more more satisfaction than when I rebuild someone's mouth and they have a beautiful smile. Yeah. So I think that's probably why I wanted to work with people, because I saw that value. Yeah.
You have a clear appreciation for architecture, and it's cool that you kind of pivoted, went towards dentistry, and are able to continue your hobby outside of the actual profession of architecture, and do it here at your house, but also I've noticed in your office as well.
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time at the office. So when I was looking for a location, I found a spot that used to be a bank, and it has a lot of windows. So I brought the agent over. I said, hey, we need to go look at this. I just saw the bank sign come down. And what we ended up doing was designing the inside of it to allow a lot of that open light to come through. Yeah. And so when patients come in, there isn't a separation between the front office and the back office. There's this big open hallway, and I wanted people to be able to come in and just look down and see this open space. And then the other thing that I did with it was I wanted people coming in from the community to have a sense of home when they came in. Yeah. And so what I did was I integrated aspects of Arizona into the design. So for the front lobby, we have a Taliesin, Scottsdale Taliesin West type feel, where we have what Frank Lloyd Wright would do, something called desert masonry, where there was rocks within concrete kind of sand feel to it. So it has a very organic feel to the front lobby. There's Paulo Soleri bells, where people come in from Paradise Valley. They understand the connection of a disciple of Frank Lloyd Wright and an architect, and he would make these really amazing bells to support the work that they were doing. Yeah. And so we've got that. We've got some Native American influence, and then we also have modern dentistry. So we want to make sure people feel like it represents what we do in our office. And so there's also a lot of it just feels very clean walking in. And so I tried to incorporate all of those aspects, so when people come into the office, they feel a sense of Arizona, but also that we know what we're doing, and there's a state-of-the-art aspect to what we do.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, your office is unlike anyone I've ever been in. It definitely feels like I'm honestly stepping into a house. It feels cozy.
Yeah.
I like the couches. There's pillows on the couches.
Yeah, there is. And so, but the funny thing is I sourced a lot of that stuff before we had built it. So I had all this, furniture and artwork in our house here. And my wife's like, what are you doing with all this stuff? I said, don't worry, I have a place for it.
Yeah.
I've designed certain aspects of the office to be able to incorporate these elements. So finally it all came together, and she understood why I was stockpiling all this stuff from different, antique stores and consignment stores and art stores. So yeah.
You had a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is your office located?
It's on Lincoln and Scottsdale Road.
Okay.
On the border of Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, Scottsdale.
Yeah. That's a great
Scottsdale
location.
Road in Lincoln. It's a great location. I hear all the time, like, you've got a great location. And so we really chose that spot to be a part of the community because I wanted to be visible. And it's not common for a private boutique dental office to have visibility and have signage. And so we invested in that spot. And it's really worked out well for us. People come say, I drive by your office all the time. And so I decided to check it out. You have great reviews, and they come in and they appreciate what we do.
It's in the best spot, truthfully.
Thanks.
I mean, I see it almost every day when I drive by. I'm like, oh, there he is.
Two arteries of our city, and it's right at the junction.
Yeah, it's a great spot for sure. And like you say, it doesn't feel cold when you step into doesn't feel modern. It feels welcoming. So you've done a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Building a practice is more than just being good at dentistry. It's also running a business. What's been one of the biggest challenges in building and managing your practice?
Yeah, whenever I started this, I desire to own my own business, to do dentistry well, and enjoy what I do, and enjoy people. And really the business of dentistry has allowed me to do all those things. The challenge with it is many other business owners understand the people around you make or break it. And so I would start with the biggest asset and the biggest blessing in my life have been the employees that have done this with me. I have my main assistant has been with me 18 years.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yes. And she's amazing. And she cares, and she's excellent. And she does the job of like 2 assistants. So there's a level of excellence there in all of the employees that we have, that everyone's on board with doing things well and patient focused, making sure that they are paying attention to the patient's needs over really even their own in the day. And we just work towards that. But also the hardest part, let me just stop. Every day I hear from patients how amazing my staff is.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I am so thankful for them. I couldn't do this without them. And I tell my staff, everyone is telling you what a great job you're doing. And I try to encourage them in that, because the reality is we are really busy every day.
Yes.
And it's very easy for me to want to micromanage and focus on the things that need to be done more perfectly, because that's what we do in dentistry. We're trying to do everything perfect. And so all these little details, but I realize like I only have a little bit of time to encourage them. So I try to encourage them as much as I can. Pick the things that I want to talk about and not talk about, hire help and consultants to maybe work on the things that maybe are a little more critical, so they hear more positivity from me, because I tend to be someone who wants to focus on the negative a little bit and work out the details, and not always as encouraging. So I want to make sure that I'm coming across as encouraging, because they're doing so much for me.
So much.
But the challenge also is people, right? Because it's hard to hire sometimes people that are as passionate as you are about your profession, about your office, about the patients. And I feel like I've been pretty lucky. And patients will tell me, it's a reflection of you, of me. And it's hard for me to hear that, because I see how I fail so many times, like when I go to work. Like literally my prayer when I go to work is, Lord, bless the work of my hands when I go to work. Help me to love my staff well and my patients well. Because it's so easy to get so detailed and so want to be so efficient, and you get frustrated because you want it to go so well for the patient that sometimes you lose the fact that you're not being gracious to your staff.
Yeah.
And so that's a place that I needed to continue to grow in as a dentist. And so staffing is hard.
Yeah.
That's hard, but they're also the biggest blessing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And again, to compliment your staff, I mean, my wife and I both go into your practice, and it almost feels in a way like it's moms sitting at the front desk, hey, Katie, Cole, how you guys doing? Yeah. It's not like, yeah, sorry, what's your name? Like, they know our names coming into it, which is really cool. They call us afterwards, and they call us beforehand, which is really cool. So you've done a great job with that too.
I mean, you have an amazing wife. I mean, let's just say,
thank you.
And so as we interact with people that just are with it and appreciate what we're doing, it really is a reward, for us. But they do care. I mean, it's not trained. I mean, some of it is we talk about how do we not lose the continuity of communication between back office and front office, making sure that patients feel well taken care of. So we do train for that. Like, where are the holes? Where did that get dropped? How can we continue to help patients with their health and understand why they may need to do something? But there really is a desire just to love people well. The front office does. They do actually enjoy people. Yeah. So that helps too. Yeah. I mean, it's not forced. Yeah. So I think it's the people.
Do you try to hire extroverts for those types of roles?
Yeah, I think extroverts, not everyone in the office is extroverts. Yeah. I would say, the person you're talking about is actually has a little social anxiety. But because she cares about people and she has a desire for excellence, it kind of supersedes that social anxiety. Like when I first interviewed her, I was like, she seems really nervous, like really nervous. And so, but she had great reviews, and so I believed in her, and she's been amazing. And so she's been with me for many years, like another front office person with me for like 9 years, other staff members 12 years. So I'm thankful that people have stuck with me and put up with me.
It's a long time to stay.
It is, yeah. In this work environment as well. Yeah.
It says a lot about the leadership too, so good job.
Well, thanks.
Is there a moment in your career where you stepped back and thought, this is exactly why I chose this profession? And also, sorry if there's noise, that's part of being on the podcast, is this is raw and authentic. So.
No, get it done. Like, get all those kids' fingerprints off these windows. It's looking good.
Thanks.
In dentistry, there's a lot of perfectionism. And so I think I tend to be always looking at what could be done better, or where do I need to grow. But the reality is, there has been moments where I've had to just take a moment and sit back and actually hear the praise of patients, or see the fact that, hey, look at what we've built. I mean, we went from 900 patients to over 3,000 patients, and I'm booked out 3 months, and we've just got amazing staff. And so I went from a practice of 2.5 days whenever I first took over a practice to now we're 5 days a week, and we're just loving being busy. And so you realize it's like when you're in the thick of it and taking care of patients every day, you don't always take a moment and look up and say, hey, wait a minute. Hey, we actually are doing well. Like, I'd have my CPA tell me, like, you're doing really well. Yeah. Like, I have a bunch of other dental practices. You're doing well. And like talking to other people and seeing what we've accomplished, it's like I didn't always take it in. So there has been moments where it's like recognizing you need to take a moment and step back and actually look at the good, right? Yeah. Because there's so many times, especially in dentistry, we're just perfectionists, and we're always looking at how we can improve this, and we're always looking at the negative to see what we need to address. And I'm a problem solver all day long, and literally I'll come home and it's like problem solving all day long. I come home and my wife's like, hey, you need to kind of tone it down a little bit. We were fine before you came home. Because I'm come home like, hey, what do you need? Well, it's like, I'm problem solving and come home. So my wife's like, okay, like, is there something that's not right? Like I'm stressing her out a little bit. So you have to take it down a notch. But looking up and actually recognizing, hey, what have we accomplished here? Every day patients are telling me what a great job I did, how great my staff is doing, and I'm not even hearing it. And so looking at the good, appreciating what I have, it's a good reminder, like in the thick of it, you need to take a moment and look up. kind of like this view.
Yeah.
When I first moved in here, my wife and I, we didn't have any furniture in here. We had some lawn chairs. We sat outside. We ate some ice cream, put some Kahlua on it, and we were just like, what a blessing. And we thought to ourselves, do you think we'll ever not notice how beautiful this view is? And the reality is the busyness of life, you have to take a moment. And there are times where I don't even see it. And then people come over like, oh, what a beautiful view. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I need to look up, take a moment, look up, and appreciate what I got. So there's been some moments like this is why I'm doing it. When I've got a patient that has come in and they fell and they've, like a kid, I had a person call me last weekend and their little 4-year-old smacked their face into the wall. I said, meet me down there. Just so appreciative of me being down there. So thankful that I had something to give.
Sure.
Got the little kid numb. He's watching Netflix. He doesn't even know what I'm doing. I'm giving him shots. Doesn't cry. I'm repositioning his teeth to where they need to be because he can't bite together. Wow. And just be able to give to that mom in that moment of stress, it means a lot. So those are and rebuilding someone's teeth, giving them a smile back whenever they've fractured them or they've worn them down and they're embarrassed about their mouth, and giving them self-confidence. So those are the moments really for me. Yes, seeing a business that I've grown, being financially supported by it, taking care of my family, those are all good things. But really it's those moments where patients are appreciating what I do in the day to day.
Yeah. Being able to zoom out.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Talking about kind of getting compliments and all of that, is there anything that you do for your staff on a year basis, quarterly basis, or how do you, they compliment you, and you talked a little bit about complimenting them, but... Yeah,
so are you talking about how do we reward them? Or?
Yeah, or you guys are a family, right, business, so what does that kind of look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't do it without them.
Yeah.
And starting the day with, Lord, help me love them well.
Yeah.
And so recognizing that one of the biggest impacts that I can have in my life is with the people that I'm with day in, day out. And I don't always do it well. And it's one of the biggest frustrations sometimes with my personality of perfectionism is like, oh, I didn't handle that well.
Yeah.
I screwed up there. I was too pointed in that conversation, and I felt like I crushed their spirit a little bit. They do so many well. So when they forget something on a tray and I have to wait a few seconds, literally it's a few seconds, and I'm like, I have a choice whether to be frustrated or to say, hey, look at all the things that you did well.
Right.
And don't beat yourself up about having to get up one more time because you forgot this one thing. Look at all the things you've done well. And so encouraging them in what they've done well is important. Being patient whenever I'm focused, hyper-focused is important. And then also, I mean, we try to compensate them well, reward them for a job well done.
Yeah.
And so we do have a bonus system in our practice. I was a little hesitant to put that into place because I didn't want, it's not based on, any type of sales or anything like that. We don't do that. But it's just if you're doing the things well. So we look at numbers like, hey, did they reappoint?
Right.
How many new patients are reappointing? How many, what is our fall off level? Where, how many people are leaving the practice? What are the percentage of retention?
Sure.
So we're looking at those type of things. Are you asking for a review to help build the practice? Those type of things. We reward them for those type of things. And I feel like as I do better, I think they should do better.
Yeah.
As we're doing things well and taking care of patients better, I feel like they should be rewarded. So we do reward them in that regard. And then just little gifts, things like that.
Yeah.
So
what a blessing to be able to bless other employees and families. And
yeah, I don't take that role lightly. I've got 16 employees.
Yeah.
And in a small, boutique practice, those people rely on me to show up.
For sure.
They rely on me. Like my kids say, why do you have to go to work? I was like, I just want to play with you, Dad. I was like, well, I've got someone waiting on me and I've got staff that need me. So if I don't show up, they don't get paid.
Yeah.
In the long run, they don't get paid.
Right.
So I don't take that role lightly. I know that people rely on me for their livelihood. And so I appreciate what they give, but I want to be a support to them.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say to any young person looking to get into this field?
So dentistry is rewarding. So there is a benefit to being able to. So first of all, I would say encourage you to own your own practice. There's a lot of corporate money coming in, VC money, just different people coming in and buying up dental practices. So my encouragement to you would be don't work for someone else. I mean, at first you maybe want to just get your skills up, learn the business of dentistry for a little bit, and see the efficiencies, because they do a lot of things right, a lot of efficiencies right. But I would recommend owning your own practice, because you're going to pay off your student debt quicker.
Yeah.
You're going to get more of a reward for your hard work, and you're going to have more autonomy. And then the other thing is, shadow offices. Make sure this is what you want to do, because there were some people that went into dentistry and the dental school, and I was really proud of them when they decided, like 2 years in, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of guts to get this far in and say this isn't for me, because you do see people that are burnout and they don't necessarily enjoy it as much as what they thought they were going to. But if you enjoy working with your hands, you enjoy working with people, you have a science bent, you want to take care of people, I think there's a lot of autonomy. So I would encourage you to do it. It's been great for me, and it's been a good avenue to support a family, have other hobbies, have some freedom in life.
Yeah. Awesome. That is great. Outside of dentistry and running a practice, what are some things you genuinely enjoy doing to recharge, to stay inspired?
I think a big part of it is friendships.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a really good group of buddies that I enjoy getting together with.
Yeah.
So whether it's a guys' night and just going on adventures, I enjoy the outdoors, like your intro said. I enjoy exploring Arizona, finding new spots, those like kitschy diners and like the historic landmarks and hotels, and just finding those things that really ground us to history. And and then when I get out in nature, like to see the grandness of what God has created makes my problems real small.
Yeah.
When I go on a road trip and I see Utah and northern Arizona and how big things are, you recognize like this is grand, and you get a chance to breathe. And that's also why I like being elevated here. Like you see a view, you kind of get home. I take my scrubs off, jump in the pool, and have a beer and look at the sunset. And so those are the things I do to recharge. I think also, you know, I'm doing things and helping people tangibly now, but there's only so much impact I can have, you know, with my business.
Yeah.
And it is one of the biggest impacts I have, because I'm there interacting with patients. So the things that recharge me is also the connection with people and sharing with them kind of what drives me and my faith, and talking about Bible studies, and we've hosted a Bible study in our house for the last 11 years, 10 years. And so walking alongside other families, guys, those things encourage me. I think that there are things that are eternal that matter more than even the perfectionist details I do. Obviously, God has gifted me to bless people with the artistic eye that he's given me and how he's gifted me. But I recognize that there are things that last forever. Yeah. And so those things charge me as much as making money. Making money is the least of it.
Yeah. Where would you say your biggest support is outside of work?
Biggest support outside of work?
Yeah. Because everyone needs support.
So yeah, my staff support me really well, and you're right. The biggest support that I would say I have in my life is my wife.
Okay.
Yeah. She knows how I'm wired, and she comes and supports me. And if I need a day, she's like, yeah, you need to go hang out with your guys.
Yeah.
Like, and she's got 4 young kids at home.
Yeah.
And she encourages me, like, hey, like I'll say, yeah, the guys are going out to some dive bar and we're going to just hang out. And we just literally like talk about life. And she encouraged me to do that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, you literally been home and she knows I work hard. And so she encouraged me to do that. On the weekend, she's like, hey, what do you want to do? She knows I love adventuring. So she leaves room to do that. She's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know. It's like, I know you might want to, hey, we're going to go out to the lake, but should I be packing a bag? Are we going to be spending the night someplace? Like sometimes we're just like, all of a sudden we're like going on this rabbit hole of a trail with the kids. And now we're spending the night at some historic hotel someplace. So
yeah, that's awesome. It kind of reminds me of your grandpa a little.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, that's awesome. As you have grown in your career, how has your perspective on success changed compared to when you first started?
Yeah, I think when I first was starting, it's like, okay, if I can only build my practice to 4 days a week instead of 3 days a week, if I can build out a new office and have an office that really represents what I do, if I can hire an associate and I get to the place where I'm busy enough to hire an associate, and I could be making some income off of someone else where it's not just me. And then I accomplished all those things. Yeah. If I can only make, $1 million a year, and as you accomplish these things, and you start recognizing these things, I passed these goals, and you don't feel any happier.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
I want to live on a house on Camelback Mountain.
Right.
When we moved in, we're like, little buyer's remorse, but
yeah.
You realize like these things don't bring you happiness. And so now my idea of success is, how can I not be burnt out by the end of the day? Because as I reached these goals, a lot was on me.
Yeah.
To be the producer in dentistry. And that would be something that people that go into medicine and dentistry, they have to understand. As you're a surgeon and you're taking care of people, a lot of it's on you. So now my idea of success is, okay, how can I do this at a level of excellence that I am currently operating, and then be able to grow this to a place where I can step back and spend more time with my kids when I'm young, whenever they're young. So when I'm young and when they're young, because I interact with 3,000 patients a year, individual patients a year, and I see a lot of different types of people that have been successful, and I tell you, they tell me every day, enjoy where you're at now. My wife and I would give anything to be where you're at with these little kids that are keeping you up in the middle of the night. I would give anything to, and so like the bedtime routine is like driving me crazy sometimes, because I'm like, Dad, I just need one more hug or one more back scratch, and you're just like, I just have been working all day, and you really have to take a moment, take a breath, and say, they're not going to be asking for this forever. They're not going to be asking for me to carry them to bed, even though I'm tired. And I don't really want to pick them up and carry them downstairs right now. But they're not going to do this forever. So okay, yes, I'm going to do it. So take a moment, brush their teeth with them.
Yeah.
Like as a dentist, that sounds kind of funny, but sometimes I don't want to brush my kids' teeth. So take it, like my twin brother has kids that are a little older, and I said, what advice would you give me? Like, do the mundane things with your kids. That's when you get to know them. Change their diapers, brush their teeth. So it's true. It's when I get to know them, and they're fighting me to brush their teeth. And so those are ideas of success. Success for me is contentment.
Yeah.
Success for me is, can I be content no matter what's happening? Because there's always going to be a fire at work.
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone that needs me. My kids are always going to be pulling on us. And success for me now is, how can I be content in the busyness of life and look up and enjoy what I have and be present with my wife, with my kids, with the patients who are in front of me, with the staff that are in front of me? How do I love them well and still trying to do these things excellently?
Yeah.
So that would be success for me.
Yeah. More time with the ones you love and surround yourself with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Looking ahead 5-10 years, what do you hope people would say you've built, not just as a dentist, but also as a person?
Yeah. We were talking about architecture. We were talking a little bit about what's inspired me. And as a kid, I went into the Scottsdale Civic Center, and they had this Frank Lloyd Wright house built. And I went in there, and I looked around, and it was just so inspiring to see what the mind of this person, Frank Lloyd Wright, how it made me feel. And so that's when I got interested in dentistry, and I realized like art and architecture inspired me. Because you're in a place that you're being influenced by this person's mind. And so there's a level of excellence and artistry that I aspire to. And I would like to be remembered by, in dentistry as someone who worked with excellence and did amazing work with excellence, that people could look at what I have done and built in the community, that this is a place where excellence is done, and it changed multiple people's lives, tangibly. But if you get to know Frank Lloyd Wright, you recognize that he didn't do the family life well. I mean, he in his young career, left his wife and 6 kids for a mistress. And so a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
He's
I didn't
remembered
know.
for a lot of amazing things, and he has a lasting foundation of excellence and genius. But he didn't do the family life well. And I personally, am inspired by him in his mind, but the reality is I don't really look up to him.
Right.
And so in my excellence, I want to make sure that I'm also doing the family thing right.
Yeah.
The treating other people right, well, making sure that I don't come across as arrogant or prideful, like Franklin Wright did.
Right.
So there are certain aspects that I would like to be holistically excellent in my profession, to do it as though I'm doing it unto the Lord. I mean, that was something that my mother just drilled into it. We didn't want to do something, it's just like, do it as though you're doing it unto the Lord. So that was huge for us. And then to be known for someone that has an impact in the community and love people well, that would be my desire. And I don't always do that well. Like, the Lord is working on me and refining my personality, and like the fruits of the Spirit, like gentleness, patience, self-control, all of those things, like, I desire for my life. And I see, and thankfully my wife has seen change in me and just the natural bent of my desire. I'm a little more fiery, and I tend to have a little less patience. And so I'm thankful that the Lord's working on me in those things. But my desire would be that people would know that I cared about them.
Yeah. To leave a lasting impact on someone, for sure. Well, Gabe, seriously, appreciate all of your time today and welcoming us into your space. This has been beautiful. And to everyone watching, check out his dentistry. It's on Lincoln and Scottsdale, right?
Yep, Woodruff Dental.
Yeah, Woodruff Dental. You can't miss it. Big sign on the corner. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow along. It really helps us be able to bring on guests like Gabe. And if you're in Arizona, Scottsdale, any of the surrounding cities, you need window cleaning or power washing, make sure to call Canyon Cleaning Solutions. We'd love to help you out. Until next time, this has been Through the Glass.